The rivalry between Apple and Samsung is a hot topic today. Some swear by Apple, while others prefer Samsung. At the forefront of this battle are the flagship iPhone series and the Samsung S series. In this video, we will look at the recently announced Samsung S24 Ultra and how it compares to the recently released iPhone 15 Pro Max. At the Samsung Galaxy Unpacked event, we got a first peek at the Samsung Galaxy series, and the Samsung 24 Ultra stole the spotlight for all the right reasons. We will be comparing the specs and features of the newly announced phone with the iPhone 15 Pro Max. Starting with the display, the iPhone 15 Pro Max shows off a 6.7-inch LTPO Super Retina XDR 1290 by 27 96-pixel OLED display with a 120Hz fast refresh rate and 460 pixels per inch, with ceramic shield protection, and the Samsung S24 Ultra boasts a 6.8-inch QHD plus dynamic AMOLED 2X display. This flat display offers a resolution of 3120 by 1440 pixels and 505 pixels per inch with an unmatched speed of 120Hz refresh rate, along with a 10+ support. With this phone, you are safe from falls with the new Gorilla Armor. Both smartphones have a water-resistant rating of IP68. Honestly, with the build, it all comes down to your preferences. The edges of the iPhone are more rounded and blunt, while the Samsung has a more sharp cornered edge. It seems there is an almost stubborn dedication of the newer phones to following the designs of their predecessors, so we have not seen any new changes to the external design so far. Now these two powerhouses are quite heavy, with one weighing 223 grams and the other weighing 221 grams. Can you guess which one weighs what? If you're feeling lucky, you can guess in the comments. But with the specs laid out, I think the obvious winner would be the Samsung S24 Ultra, from a bigger display to better peak resolution, brightness, and protection. Now let's move on to performance. The Samsung is powered by the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 chipset, with the 8th Gen using a single core of the latest ARM Cortex-X Prime core clocked at up to 3.3 GHz. On the other hand, the iPhone 15 Pro Max uses Apple's latest A17 Pro processor, which does not rely on the latest Cortex-X4 design. The company makes their own cores while staying true to their commitment to complete self-reliance and in-house production. This has paid off, as Apple has always led the performance-based department for years. Even with the Samsung S24 Ultra's new Snapdragon chip, the iPhone is still 3% faster. In real life, there is barely a noticeable difference, but on paper, the iPhone wins. With a 1-1 tie so far, let's compare the camera quality and see who takes the lead. The Samsung has 4 rear cameras with a 200-megapixel main camera and a dual telephoto sensor setup. One of these sensors has a 50-megapixel autofocus lens and ×5 optical zoom capability. The second telephoto camera has a 10-megapixel sensor backed by OIS with a 3x optical zoom and an aperture of 2.4. Last but not least, there is a 12-megapixel ultra-wide camera with a 120-degree field of view and a 2.2-megapixel aperture. The selfie camera is a 12-megapixel camera with a 2.2 aperture, while the iPhone 15 Pro Max comes with a triple rear camera setup, which includes a 48-megapixel wide-angle sensor that doubles as the primary sensor. Additionally, there is a 12-megapixel ultra-wide camera. And lastly, a 12-megapixel telephoto periscope lens with 5x optical zoom. Now, these specs are quite impressive, top of the line, and a solid improvement over previous models, but the Samsung S24 Ultra has one last trick up its sleeve. And these include nightography zoom for photos, AI multi-zoom processing across all zoom ranges, and deep learning-based super resolution to the table. With video recording, it's a monster recording at 60 frames per second, 100x space zoom, 8K footage, while the iPhone 15 Pro Max is limited to 4K recording and a limitation to 10-bit HDR. Finally, we move to the battery. The Samsung S24 Ultra has a 500 mAh battery, but the iPhone 15 Pro Max packs a 4,441 mAh battery. Charging speeds have never been the strong suit of both brands, with Samsung offering 45 watts and Apple offering 30 watts of maximum power delivery. The difference in power in real-life day-to-day scenarios is actually undistinguishable, as the lead taken by Samsung in battery capacity is quickly closed due to its more power-hungry processor. With these specifications, it is safe to agree that Samsung is hard on the heels of Apple as they come closer and closer to defeating the tech giant with every release. With the live translation of calls, nightography pictures, and other AI features, you can definitely feel the intentionality put into making the phone as amazing as possible. In the end, it would be left to you, the viewer. What team are you on? Let us know in the comments. Do like and subscribe. Bye for now.